All right, so based on last week's video, I was telling you guys about how we wanted to kind of reorganize our overstock. So we have our forklift getting fixed right now, and we have a rental from the guy who's fixing it. So we were able to go ahead and actually reorganize this. So this is all overstock boxes for a brand, and then this is overstock products mainly. And then the row behind it is empty, and then the next row is a lot of packing supplies, whether that's empty boxes of ours or our clients that we use. So now we consolidated all of our products of overstock for clients right here instead of all sporadic, since we mentioned in the last one 2 clients left, so some of their pallets were gone and there was just a lot of empty holes. So we consolidated all that, and then we're working on one of our new clients that came in. This is their first time in a fulfillment center like us. They fulfilled everything overseas before, so everything came in with no barcodes. So we're going through that process right now.
Anything I can help you with? My charging cable broke, I think.
Really?
Yeah. And it sparks, so I try to charge it and it started sparking. So that's not good. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so this is something that we also offer too here at Relay, is if your products do not come barcoded, we will barcode them for you with a fee though. Exactly the same. Oh, it's
the inside?
it's a bag. That's cool. Yeah, that's kind of dope. All right, fat. All right, respect. Progress on barcoding. We're about halfway done because I looked outside at the loading dock and was like, oh shit, there's a lot more. Yeah, that's a lot. Every time that I bet or like gamble or whatever, it just never works out for me. So I'm just like, I've accepted that I'm not meant to do that. Yeah. Like we'll be in Vegas and we'll be playing like Baccarat, and like Daniel will be on this heater, and then I decide to get in, right? They won like 11 hands in a row, bro. Like him and this old lady, and then I throw 100 in and then they lose. I'm like, what the fuck? Like.
So one little trick, if you're not selling in a bunch of locations, is you can actually just input in the barcode field on Shopify, WooCommerce, or whatever platform you use. Most people use Shopify. You can import the SKU as your barcode, and then at least that way when you print a barcode, it'll have something to scan. So when you scan the barcode, it'll literally just show the SKU. So it's fine if you're completely fine to do it that way if you're not gonna do a bunch of restocks of a version 2. So what I mean by that is, let's say you came out with black joggers, and then in 3 months you wanted to come out with black joggers V2. It can't be the same SKU anymore, or when you scan that barcode, it's gonna pop up the same. So you would have to treat that as a brand new product. So anyways, we have some of our shipment in here. We've packed most of it up, but you can see right here, this is one of our clients, and it came with no barcode at all, and we were able to generate from our system the name and the SKU and print it out as a workable barcode. So now we can identify all of his shipment in our warehouse and store it properly, where if we didn't have this, it would be all manual, searching it up by name, and it would just not be efficient, and it's something we require. So we had to do this and add it as a ad hoc for our client, and we're happy to do that service. But that's all good in our warehouse now. Now let's go take a look at the products on shelf, and we can kind of talk about if your brand, if you guys are watching us and you fulfill yourselves, or if you want to go to a fulfillment center and you're just trying to learn, I would give you guys one tip. So this is one of our pre-order clients. The box just goes straight on shelf. That's a perfect case scenario, but when you're a company like us and you have multiple clients with different inventory levels, you do need bins like this because you're gonna move a lot of stuff around. End caps like this for low on hands, you do need bins to store stuff. But if you are doing it all yourself, or if you're a 3PL that has one client or maybe just 2, then I would actually skip the bins, and I would keep just racking, and as soon as your box comes in, save yourself the time and stick the box straight on the shelf, cut the box open and pick from there. That saves you a lot of steps, because now you're gonna have to take the box, open it, fit 10 or 15, whatever size bin you have, and then store the rest overstock. Where that way is, if you have a box that comes with 50, you have 50 now. You don't have whatever the bin can fit. But the bins are very useful for a lot of clients, a lot of different inventory levels. But if you're just your own brand or fulfilling one or two, then definitely try to save yourself the money and time at first of the bins. We need these, like I said, because we have multiple clients. But if you're a one or two client type scenario, make different levels and stick the box straight on the shelf. It's gonna save you so much time and money, really, because you're saving time. So we'll go back here, we'll take a look. We put one of our clients onto shelf completely. We just had our first launch with them officially. We knocked out pretty much all their orders in one day after we got it. We booked their stuff in, we stored it onto shelf, and then got all their orders out the next day. So that was great to see. Overstock is all above it now that we've reorganized. So now if we need a restock, it's a super quick, easy grab to refill the bin. And then we have the client that we just showed you that we re-barcoded all of their stuff. So now everything's barcoded and identified within this aisle. And then they have a new shipment we're working on that we're also gonna fit in the shelf. So that's just a little update from last week's video. But yeah, 2 new clients are finally in here. This one launched, we're waiting for this one to launch. But if you're watching us for fulfillment info or just for your own personal brand, I would definitely think about that with bins and the barcodes. Don't overcomplicate it. If you're just one brand or 2 brands, I would skip the bins and just put your box straight on the shelf. In some scenarios, that is the best case for us, but because we have so many clients, we do need the bins, but you'll save a lot of time by just picking straight out of the box. It may not look the best, but it's more efficient.
They didn't fire me. I'm here. I'm still here. We've been honestly navigating a lot of different things at the same time, and just dealing with a lot of, I mean, I've been home a lot, like work from home a lot, and which basically I'm not working, I'm just sitting there. But we've been kind of dealing with a little bit of, pro dev is a little, I mean, it's been growing, but not as steadily as I would like. I think in the sheer correlation of like, we've just been really focused on the new brand that we're building out. It's taken a lot of me and Derek's time, and to be honest, like, I'm the sales arm of the business, and if I'm not really in it as much, something else will always take a hit, right? And it's tough to juggle, but we have a crush team that's like just dominating everything for us, and there's been a little bit of a transition to where we have some clients that are in the US, and then we, you know, have an individual actually that's overseas, and there's always like a time gap, and we want to make sure that the clients don't see that, hey, there's this transition period, it's okay. Like, our clients pay us a lot of money monthly, and so it's important for us to respect their dollar for dollar spend, and making sure that whatever transition is happening or whatever we're doing internally does not reflect upon our clients. So far, all of our clients are pretty happy. And for some of the brands that we've been working with behind the scenes, with bigger influencers, celebrities, we finally get to start to showcase their products. Because in all honesty, like, we've put out so much product in the past year, and I feel like we haven't even shown it. Like, we just sometimes say who our clients are, but we don't ever show like, hey, this is the style that we've created for them and everything. But I feel like now it's really starting to come to life. Clarence has taken over basically all of the clients just because he's a fucking rock star, you know? He's designing it out. I mean, he looks like a rock star, you know? Look at the hair, you know? I'm just here. I'm not really contributing much, to be honest. There's also been a lot of questions about the tariffs, so maybe I'll talk about it on YouTube, because I don't know if I could talk about it on my Instagram, just because of the difference in demographic of people watching my stuff. So I'll talk about it. No, we are not concerned with the tariffs. We are merchants, we are not politicians. It's our job to be updated on the geopolitical spectrum of how everything is happening or what is happening and how it affects our clients, our production. But ultimately, like, I say this a lot too, like, this is a time that it will really show how much you prioritize the relationship between you and your supplier. I've wanted to say that on Instagram, but I can't. But, because if you look on YouTube or Instagram or TikTok right now, like, there's the entire US TikTok is flooded with Chinese suppliers. Keep in mind, it is illegal for two things. It is illegal for the Chinese to be on TikTok, right? So you got to think about that. Why is it that they're now allowed to be on TikTok? What is the relevance of timing? And two, because of the trade secrets that they have with all of these companies, Gucci, Louis Vuitton, Hermes, Nike, Lululemon, you cannot disclose what those prices are. So you find yourself wondering, why is this happening, right? Like on a national stage, why is this happening? And to be honest, like, China's struggling. The US is the largest consumer because we are a consumer-based economy. We buy everything. In Q4 alone, the US is about $16 trillion of consumable. That's just the Q4 alone. The entire consumer market for China in 1 year is 7 trillion. That gives you an estimation of how big the US market is. So what is happening, right? On the TikTok side, manufacturers are telling their workers or upper level people that are, doing these things. One, they removed the counterfeiting law, so you can now counterfeit, which is crazy, because you can copyright infringement, you can do all of that shit now, which is fucking outrageous, right? That's crazy, because the companies didn't do anything. It's the country that, right? It's how it was handled from the, politicians, right? But then it kind of funnels down into the companies being in a situation where they can't really do shit, right? Goes back to the phrase of we're merchants, not politicians. And to be honest, like, factories are struggling, right? You have a marketplace that is basically 20% of China's GDP that is now missing, right? Factories need to pay workers need money, and now companies are not offloading those goods because they're afraid of the 140% tariffs that the US is gonna impose upon these clients. Everybody's panicking. But for us, it's like, what good is it to panic if you don't even know what's gonna happen tomorrow? And so clients, like, I just had a client call, like, I texted her, I was like, hey, I know you're concerned about things, like, feel free to reach out to me directly if you have any questions. She reached out to me directly, asked about tariffs, and I was like, listen, if you make these contingencies of, trying to plan so much, a paralysis by analysis, by the time in 3 weeks when you've already successfully made this transition, or 1 month, the US may revert back to, hey, there's no more tariffs, or they will come to a trade agreement. So you've pivoted all of that, and then you're like, oh, well, shit, I just spent all this time pivoting because I was so worried, and now it's like gonna work itself out. Like, you guys have to understand, like, from a global scale, like, all of this is about, it's turned into a politician discussion, but it's all boiled down to currency order and what is controlling the whole market, which is money. Who is going to control the marketplace and who is controlling the national or the worldwide currency? US is too good at this. Like, there's just, our consumer economy is too large, right? So evidently there's nothing you can do. From a pro dev perspective, yeah, we try to troubleshoot for our clients and everything, but you just got to go with the flow and work with your suppliers to find logistical solutions in the best way possible. Not going to tell you on camera because there's always gray areas with everything, but prioritize your suppliers, humanize your suppliers because they are human, and understand that they want what's best for you, because ultimately, if you do well, they do well. That's all it is. So this is also why you say not all suppliers are equal as well.